Hi. So, you want to change your life in around 6 months. You can change your life in 24 hours if we're being so honest, because what's stopping you from going into a store and buying a lottery ticket and becoming a millionaire? Is it rare? Yes. But that's not saying that it won't happen. It's not impossible. It's very much possible. Our lives can change so much. At one moment think and have nothing and just feel like your life is crumbling apart, and 2 weeks later your life can be on top. With self-discipline, you can change your life in under 6 months. And I've done it before. What's stopping you from posting a YouTube video and becoming like the next Janelle Elena? You guys remember her? She was that girl that was like living in her van in her first YouTube video. It did numbers and that jumped off her whole YouTube career. And then you have people like Mr. Beast, who's been on YouTube for years and years and years and put in so much work and it didn't happen, but he never gave up and kept going. And he's worth millions right now. It's easy to be on the path of wanting the Janelle Elena where it just happens like that, versus like the Mr. Beast where it takes years and years of dedication and not really seeing growth, but yet you just stick to it, but eventually it'll get there. When I was 13 years old, I got heavy into Korean culture. I started making pen pals from Korea. A lot of my friends were from Korea. So of course I'm gonna learn Korean, why not, you know? So I was learning Korean, and then when I turned 18, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go visit. I've never been here before. And my mom was like, when you turn 18, you do whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. On my 18th birthday, I went to Korea, first time flying, first time traveling, all that type of stuff. And I went by myself and I loved it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna move here. And I moved there, went to school in Korea. And with me telling you all of this, you're probably thinking to yourself, if you don't know me, if you know me, you're not thinking this. But if you don't know me, then you're probably thinking this, like, oh, she must be super fluent in Korean. You know, she lived in Korea. She was around nothing but Korean people and they spoke nothing but Korean. So obviously she must be super fluent in Korean. Like, she can give a speech in Korean right now and just be perfect. My Korean is that of a toddler. Like, me and a kindergarten can have a real good friendship, but I can't talk no like strong conversation. I can't hold a good long conversation in Korean. Now I understand way more than I can speak, but like, honestly, for real, if I'm being so honest, I haven't spoken Korean in so long. When I look back at it, there should be no other reason why I'm not fluent in Korean. Absolutely no excuse for me not to be fluent. One of the things that you have to do if you really want to just change your life, being uncomfortable to get comfortable. Too many of us are just comfortable, and we're comfortable being comfortable. Your brain does not like to be uncomfortable. Your brain likes to be comfortable. So soon as it gets uncomfortable, as it detects pain, unpleasure, it's gonna be like, we're not gonna do this. No. And we go to this mode where we're trying to protect ourselves because we like the feeling of being comfortable. Me personally, when I was in Korea, I thought to myself, like, oh my gosh, my Korean is not that perfect. I just don't want to be embarrassed. Like, I don't want to speak Korean. People laughed at me. I was too worried about what other people say. It made me uncomfortable feeling that way. So what I did, I had people around me that enabled me, was like, just translate everything for me. So it kind of babyfied me instead of just push me into that world of uncomfortableness. And for me to be able to be comfortable, me, including myself, and the people around me was like, no, I'm not gonna translate for you. And no, I told myself, no, you're not gonna let them translate for you. I wouldn't have to really deal with them translating for me all the time. I got dependent on them. And because eventually, with me being so uncomfortable, I'm gonna end up getting comfortable again, because I'm gonna be able to know more Korean and I'm gonna start understanding and speaking better in Korean. But because I didn't want to get uncomfortable, here I am in the situation that I am and not super fluent. It's not gonna be comfortable going to the gym every single day. It's not gonna be comfortable eating right. It's not gonna be comfortable posting on YouTube when you don't really get that many views, or posting on TikTok and you don't get that many views. That dopamine hit is not going to happen. However, you have to stick with something. You have to stick to something to see progress. You cannot expect results that takes years and days. It don't happen like that, and that is okay. But you will never know if you just quit. You will never know if you don't try. So that's why I say you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. If you are super comfortable in something and you want to grow and you're just doing the minimal, you're not going to grow as fast as you want. For example, if I want to lose weight, I am not going to lose weight in a short amount of time if I'm doing something that's comfortable. If I want to lose a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time, I'm gonna have to do the exercises that are difficult. I'm gonna have to do the exercises that are longer and more uncomfortable because I'm trying to get quicker to these results. Yes, I can do the exercises that is fun. It's gonna prolong that result times for me getting that body that I want. It's time to get uncomfortable. At the end of 2022, I told myself that 2023 was gonna be my year. I tell you, I did that. I did that. In 2023, my mental health was way better. In 2023, my body was the best that it looked. I was so close to my dream body goals. I was happy with my body. I traveled so much. I went to so many places. I went to Panama, Puerto Rico, Mexico. I went to Canada. I went to Buffalo, New York. I went to New Orleans. I went to New York City. I even rode on a helicopter over New York City with my feet dangling because that was something I always wanted to do, and I did it. And there's probably so many other places that I went that I just forgot, but when I tell you every single month I was somewhere new, half of it I got for honestly just for free. And I got real good with my finances. I got my credit score up plus 100 points, and I learned so much in the finance world that I was able to get like a lot of points with credit card points, and yes, paid off that debt. I made way more money than I can ever imagine in 2023. I made more money than I could ever think I would make. Like, I was bringing in so much money. Like, life was really feeling like it was good, and I was like really happy. I ended up getting in a relationship that was good for me at the time. But like, it was really good for me at the time. Life felt good. It felt really complete. If I'm being real with you, my 2024 hasn't really been 2023. I had to sit myself down. Why is my 2024 not 2023? So in 2024, I ended up gaining a lot of the weight back that I had lost. My income came down, my mental health down. A lot of stuff went downhill, and I had to sit myself down, and I'm like, what is the difference? What from 2023 to 2024? And I'm like, you know what, your self-discipline isn't the same, your drive isn't the same. And I had to really clock myself. I'm like, you know, once you get into a hiatus and a drive or something, you have to keep it going. You have to keep it. You can't just expect to work out, get that body, and just go back to eating how you were. You have to maintain it. And I didn't learn how to maintain, and I didn't learn how to keep it going. So the main thing of how I changed my life like that in like 6 months, because I literally changed it in 6 months, it was really from self-discipline. Self-discipline is key. When you want to do something but you know you shouldn't do it, you have to have that power to tell yourself no. For example, if I'm eating right and working out and I just want to splurge every single day, I have to tell myself no. I have to stick to the plan and stick to the key, because every time you give yourself a break, it's like 2 times the setback when you do it. So it's self-discipline. You have to make yourself. There's going to be times where I don't want to get up and go. There's going to be times where I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go hustle. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'm mentally drained. But you have to get out of your head and you have to go and just do it. And that's another thing. Stop planning. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you have to stop planning. I love the plan. I have so many planners and I plan out so much stuff, but I had to call myself out because I'm like, I am planning so much that I'm feeling like I'm doing the work, but I'm not really doing the work. I'm just planning, and I get exhausted because I'm like, oh, today has drained. I am tired, but I'm tired because I haven't put in the work. We can research stuff. We can look up meal plans. We can look up ideas on how to grow a business. We can look at ideas on how to like go to different jobs. And we're so tired from all this searching online. There's just too much information, and it gets you so mentally tired that you just don't want to do anything. But yet it has you feeling so stuck because you're just like, I'm doing so much to work towards this goal, and it's just not happening. Because I had to call myself out. You know how long I wanted to like be a YouTuber, be a TikToker and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, I'm on my new channel. Why isn't my channel not growing? Like, I do so much research and it's just not growing. But it's like, have you been posting? Have you been posting? Have you been upgrading your content? Have you been pushing your content out to groups? Like, have you been actively doing it, or are you just like researching? It's hard to have that self-discipline if it's mentally draining you all the time. Which brings me to another thing. Get out of your way. When I tell you my biggest op is that girl in the mirror, my biggest op is the girl in the mirror. I am so mean to myself. I am so hard on myself. I'm so crucial to myself. And you cannot be your own enemy. You have to learn how to not be your own enemy. Stop beating yourself up. You really have to stop doing so. You're feeding yourself affirmations of you're not good enough, that you're not worthy, it's just not made for me, it's just not meant for me. Stop telling yourself that. We can get in our head and be like, well, you're not that great, so you shouldn't try. Like, that's not made for you. Why apply for that? You're just not gonna get it anyway. You do not need that. Just as you don't need those people that are like that in your life, you don't need to be doing that to yourself. You're gonna have to sacrifice. I notice whenever I try to talk to family members about this, they get super defensive and they're just like, yo, you just don't understand. And I'm like, I do. Here's the thing. I can't save up $5,000 if I'm always buying shin hauls. I can't save up $5,000 if I'm always door dashing seafood, particularly seafood. I'm calling somebody out. I can't save money if I'm going out every weekend. Yes, you could do all those things and save money, but if you're trying to reach a goal in a short amount of time, you have to be more stricter. The more strict you are with yourself, the quicker you are going to see gain. There will be people in my life where I tried to tell them this and it was like, I just don't want to be stuck in a house. That's just so miserable. Like, why would anybody want to be stuck in a house? That just sounds awful. And I'm like, you don't have to be stuck in a house to, well, it is every time you go out, and that's a part of life, making sacrifices for the greater or good. Do you think these people out here that change their life in a short amount of time always got what they want? No. If you really, because you have to be tired of being sick and tired. And honestly, that is really the only thing that's gonna make you really want to change your life, is being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, if I'm being so real, if you're not sick and tired of your situation and sick and tired of how you are, then it's gonna be easier to be stuck in that situation. But when you get sick and tired and just like, I don't care what it takes, I'm going to change my life, when you get to that point, you're gonna realize, like, I'm gonna be on my grind, and it's more easy to be more self-disciplined, and it's more easy to make sacrifices. I can't keep going to Wingstop if I'm really trying to like cut and have my body a certain way. I can go to Wingstop once in a while, but I can't go to Wingstop every single day or twice a week. I can't do that. I can't eat crumble cookies. You have to make sacrifices. Like, that's just point blank period. I just know there's too many people in my life where I try to tell them that and they get so defensive, and I'm just like, but you say you're tired. And I tell them, like, you're not really sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'm like, yes, I am. And I'm like, no, you're not. Because if you were really sick and tired, you'll realize I'll do anything to get out of this situation. And that's how I felt in 2022. I don't like my situation. I gotta get out of it. And honestly, if I'm being so honest with you, that is how I'm feeling this year in 2024. So in this 6 months, I'm gonna be doing every step that I told you again. So if you want to be on this journey with me and we can do it together, you can change your life in 6 months. It's all about self-discipline, putting that work in, and just staying committed and making yourself uncomfortable. I used to be so frantic on wanting people to go with me places. And I was like, you know what, one day I'm gonna go to the movies by myself. I went to the movies by myself, and when I tell you, I like going to the movies by myself all the time now. It's no big problem. At first it was uncomfortable, but after a few times, it's not uncomfortable. That's the same thing with driving. I have really bad driving anxiety. Like, baby, I be shaking. One point in my life, only place I could drive was school and to my work, which was right beside my school. When I was in high school, right? I would be driving and my leg would be shaking. Like, I could have just accepted that. This is how I feel. This is gonna be me all the time. But I was like, you know what? No. Remember my cousin had made a comment like, yeah, I just be having to take her everywhere. I feel like the annoyance of them. And I did not like that. And it made me feel so hopeless. So I had to just really get uncomfortable and just hop in that car and overcome all those anxiety, all those emotions, because when you, it's more than being scared. Like, it's the sick feeling. I did not like the sick feeling. I didn't like my palms getting sweaty, my throat feeling like it wants to close up, my stomach feeling like I have to go run to the bathroom because it's like I ate Taco Bell, but it's just the nerves getting to me. I did not like that feeling at all, but I had to push it to the side and just do the thing. And eventually I did the thing, and eventually, like, I started being able to drive, like, in the city and in the big city. And then I like driving to like other states. And then it just got better and better and better and better. And that feeling of uncomfortableness went down. And that's with anything. And you can apply that motion with anything. When you learn how to walk as a baby, you had to fall and fall and fall and fall. But you kept getting up. And eventually you learn how to walk. And that is life. Life is full of unpredictable things, but we can't let it get us down and let us keep us down. You have to keep getting back up even when it's tough. I know how mentally draining it could be. I know how mentally draining, how it could drain the life out of you. But when I tell you, you have to keep going. Because if you feel like there's nothing to lose, why not just go for it? Try your hardest to save your life and just put in that action. It is doable. It is possible. Look at all the people's lives that have changed just like that. You think Keith Lee didn't just, you think he just did one review and got where he at now? Like, that man was putting in work, putting them reviews in. And look where he's at now. That man is in a whole nother tax bracket because of just blessings. And another thing, get out your phone. Please get off your phone. Get off work. Let's say it's 5 p.m. You get off work at 5. You make it home at 6. You shower. You eat. Now it's 7. So you have like 3 more hours before you go to bed. Use those 3 hours to be productive towards your life versus being online. Stop that scrolling, because it's so easy to scroll for 3 hours. And then, man, you look at the time and it's like, dang, time just goes by so fast. Like, no, stop misusing your time. Imagine if you spent those same 3 hours doing something to progress your life. Imagine you spent those 3 hours working on your side business, working on your mental health, working on your body, working on your finances, learning good habits, picking up good habits, picking up hobbies that can further you, even like taking a class. Like, you'll be surprised of all the free certificates you can get, and just taking 3 hours out of your day and just getting those and putting them on your resume and being certified in something that could get you potentially to a new job. Or even if, let's just say, you hate your job, but yeah, you come home, get on TikTok and just whatever, you can spend those 3 hours writing up new resumes, making sure that it's fit to this, to that, looking up new jobs, applying for new jobs. You can spend that time picking up a hobby, learning how to do this, and that hobby can end up making you more money in the future. But instead, we're using our time on social media. We got to stop that. I did a week of just cutting down social media off my life. The most productive week I ever had. And I understand it's like a treat, it's like a reward you get on, it's like a dopamine hit, right? That's why we're getting on that, because we want dopamine hit, we don't want stress. But just that extra bit of work in that time period can set us off for so much more in the future. But that's all I have to say for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I hope it was helpful. Bye. See you in the next one.